throughout the 20th century, the bayonet was considered to be a critical component of any service rifle. You would not design a service rifle that could not accept a bayonet, to the point where sometimes, like this SKS, you would design the bayonet to be integrated within the rifle, just like that. So the rifleman would never be without a bayonet. It was considered to be that critical that it was unfathomable to not have it. And even into the 21st century, when we get into early 2000s, the Army decided that they wanted to cut down the M16 down to the M4 so that it would be a 14.5-inch barrel. And in doing so, rather than have a longer handguard that extends past the gas block, it was very important that, we have the actual bayonet lug so that every rifleman could still have a bayonet. And I don't blame them. Bayonets are important. Service rifle should have a bayonet, right? But with a little bit of retrospect, you look back at, the last 20 years, and you're pretty hard-pressed to find many instances in which hand-to-hand combat happened at all. And when it did, the bayonet was not very much a significant part of that. So a lot of modern rifles have switched over to longer rails that extend closer to the muzzles to fit more accessories, flashlight, lasers, everything in the kitchen sink. And then also, you can't ignore the trend that everybody wants suppressors now. So now you get into this situation where, we have a much more optimized ergonomic effective rifle as a rifle, but there is no good way to put a bayonet on this rifle. There just isn't. This wouldn't be that big of a deal if it weren't for the fact that recent conflicts in Ukraine and elsewhere have shown that there are certainly still times on the modern battlefield in which you need a bayonet. We see a lot of thin lines, a lot of guys going from trench to trench, house to house, with limited situational awareness around their bubble, running into the enemy in very close range. And even when they're carrying 10 mags on them, it's easy to run out of ammo, or it's easy to get overwhelmed. And suddenly, the idea of having a blade on the end of your rifle sound pretty attractive, right? But there's not a good way to do it. And of course, like I said, you still have systems like this where you can just slap a block of aluminum on there to basically act as a new bayonet mount. But I think my favorite system that's come into the fray recently, this is the Up Knife, and it basically mounts just right there on the side of the Picatinny rail, very ergonomic and out of the way, but you can see right there, it extends just past the muzzle. You got a little bit of a glass breaker right there. When it's collapsed, it's so tight there's no risk of cutting yourself, but then when you want it exposed, you just press this little button, and it slides all the way out. And now you've got a bayonet. And I haven't done like a full torture test on this or anything, but this is pretty rock solid. I don't think that this is significantly less stable than the older bayonet mounting systems, except for the fact that maybe it's a little bit out of alignment with the muzzle itself. But I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like the idea of this, where instead of having to like go through your belt, draw your bayonet, mount it on there, get the fitting just right. If you decide that, we're coming around a corner here and this is a little bit sketchy and someone might pop out, coked out of their mind on drugs, I can just pop that out right there. And I know that I've got a bayonet ready to go. It's not freak, it takes up real estate. It has a little bit of weight, but it's only like 5 ounces. It's pretty damn light. And, the window breaker gives it purpose without needing to, needing a bayonet elsewhere. But, I really like it. I think that's pretty damn cool. So, yeah, just kind of cool seeing folks make new solutions, because the bayonet is that age-old tool that has existed for as long as firearms have existed. And I still think it's an important component if we can find a way to make it not cumbersome and not detract from the mission at hand.